Good morning, everyone. It's another beautiful day, Southern California. Hot and dry and plenty of it. So, talked about the lower cowling scoop, chin scoop, whatever you want to call it, featured below the engine. That works as the intake for this airplane's supercharger, and making templates for the parts. So it's a three-part component of the airplane. There's the grin, and then there are the two dividers, and these divide airflow. The supercharger main inflow opening is in the center, with two large oil or glycol cooling. They're probably oil coolers because this thing didn't have liquid, didn't have glycol. So oil cooler canisters on either side of the central vent opening. So what we need is a couple of parts that work as supports, and we came up with this shape. Just want to check it with the cowling on and see where the gaps are, if it's large enough or if it's too large or whatever, and then we'll make adjustments accordingly. So I just want to get the cowling on exactly as it will be when it's time to glue it. That looks like about it right there. So that's where it's going to fit. Now I just need to make sure these, and I'll need tweezers to hold it. These are my big tweezers. I want my fine, here we are. These are the finer ones. Let's see how that looks in there. I might have to pick up the model and move it out of camera sight, but let me just see. So if that goes against the wall, I think it'll be perfect. I only had it for a second, but I think these are going to work. Yeah, these will work out just fine. All the way back against the wall and up against the bottom of the airplane and tilted to such an angle. And I think it'll be okay. It's a little, it's a little short maybe. If I'm holding this in the right place. We could go a little bit longer, but I don't want to. It can't be longer than this, but it does need to fill the cowling opening a little bit better, I think. So what I'm thinking we're looking at here is a part that will draw out just a little bit further here, and before it rounds up, if that flows. I have the room for it inside the cowling. So I'm going to try and make one more cardstock shape. Here's my cardstock right here. A little chunk of it. So what I want to do is trace this one and then draw that new line for the bottom. So we'll trace this part exactly. Because it's close. The adjustment I need to make is small. So here's the part. And what I need to do is just run it out a little bit longer. Let's see, where's a good. Yeah, that might do it. Not quite where I need it to be. Okay, so let's see if there's a better reference on here. Let's see. You'll probably spot it before I do. Maybe it's this one. That's sort of it. Let's see. So what we want to do is come out a little further. I hope I'm not holding the camera too close here. I'm trying to do this with the camera in my hand. let's see. So we want to be like this. And then we want to roll up. And I know I'm making a mess of things with with them holding the camera here, but so I think that might be more like the shape we want. And it probably could even come down a little lower. So when I cut this out, I'm going to cut it. I'm going to carry this line down. Let's see. That's the only problem with the French curve is trying to figure out exactly. Well, that's almost it right there. I don't want to go too far down. Maybe that. So we'll cut it along this line here and see what that does. And that, because I can always trim it down. If I start out a little bit large, that's okay because we can trim it down. If I start out small, then we just, square one. Or maybe thinking about whether or not it's acceptable. Well, let's cut it out the way it is now, and see if we've got a good template now. I'm going to keep the old one because it's not bad. Alright, take that off. Now remember, cardstock is so cheap that we can burn through it and it won't matter. I mean, it's not even what you would call even remotely an expense. Paint is an expense. Adhesive, X-Acto blades, those are an expense in this hobby, but cardstock saves you money. If I make enough parts out of this, if I was doing this using the birch ply, it'd cost a fortune. That stuff's not cheap. So that's why sheet styrene or the birch ply, you don't want to be creating templates out of that. You want to be creating your templates here and then transferring them to that other stuff to make your parts. Alright, let's see if this fits. I have a feeling it's going to be a lot better. Yeah. See, that does. Now that follows the shape of the cowling inside. It gets us right to where we want to be. So I'm going to go ahead and make the parts out of this now. One template is all I need. I'm going to make two parts. They're going to be identical. They're just going to go on either side of that chin scoop. So where's my here? Just need to take a piece of this off to use. I'm not trying to move this big sheet around. Just a section of it. There we go. Alright, so this is the heavier birch ply between the two. This is my super thin stuff that I use cockpit interiors. And this is a little bit heavier. This is more for landing gear doors and this kind of thing here. So we can get any kind of thickness really of this that you want. Just depends on what part you're making. And where'd my template go? Alright, crap. Story of my life. I just set it down and here, that's the little one. Oh, where'd it go? What did I do? I didn't leave it in there. I didn't toss it over here. Okay. Well, where are you? It's right here in front of me, I'm sure. Oh, this is embarrassing. Completely unscripted, folks. I never had a single lesson. I'm gonna have to start moving things out of there. This is why we keep the area clean, right? We don't have this. So we don't have this kind of thing. Alright, now I'm getting frustrated. I'm gonna go to the floor. No. Go in my pocket. I really am at a loss here. I don't know where that went. I don't know where that went. My template. Terrific. Okay, well, we can make another one. That is beyond frustrating. Okay. See, I don't have the back edge here. Oh, come on. I'm going to turn the camera off. I'll be back in a minute.